Okay, let's dive right in. Have you ever been frustrated just staring at your screen while a deep learning model trains, wondering if there's a faster, maybe a smarter way to get to the finish line?
Yeah, it's a question we've all asked. Standard gradient descent is the foundation of pretty much everything we do in deep learning. But sometimes it can feel like you're taking the scenic route when you're really in a hurry. It's powerful, for sure, but it's not always the most efficient.
So, what's the actual problem with that standard approach? Well, it really all boils down to the learning rate. See, when you use a single fixed rate for every single parameter, you can get these wild swings where the optimizer just overshoots the target again and again. Or the opposite happens and it just crawls along so slowly you feel like you're waiting forever. It's just not, well, it's not adaptive.
And that brings us to the really crucial question: how do we get beyond this basic method? The answer, as you've probably guessed, is to make our optimizer adaptive, to give it the ability to learn and adjust its strategy on the fly. So, what's the secret sauce behind all these advanced optimizers? You might think it's some crazy complex new math, but it's not. Actually, it's a surprisingly simple and really elegant idea that gives our optimizer something kind of like a memory. It's called exponentially weighted averages. And the core idea here is, instead of taking a simple average of every step you've ever taken, you create the smoothed out trend. It works by constantly blending the previous average with the brand new data point, which means it gives a lot more weight to what just happened. This is what gives the optimizer that memory of the direction it's been going. The best way to get an intuition for this is to think of it like a smoothing filter. In deep learning, gradients can be incredibly noisy, bouncing all over the place from one mini batch to the next. Exponentially weighted averages help the optimizer see the real trend underneath all that noise, so it can focus on the direction that's actually making progress. So, how is this one simple idea used to build these much better optimizers? Well, let's take a look at two really popular algorithms that apply this exact same concept in slightly different but super clever ways to speed everything up. First up is momentum, and the name pretty much says it all, right? It helps the optimizer build up speed. What it does is it calculates an exponentially weighted average of the past gradients. The classic analogy, and it's a good one, is a ball rolling down a hill. It picks up speed going in the right direction, and it's way less likely to get stuck in some little bump or ditch along the way. It also helps dampen those wild side-to-side swings we saw before. Next, we have RMSProp, which stands for root mean square propagation. Now, this also uses a weighted average, but here's the twist. It averages these squared gradients. Why would you do that? Well, this clever trick allows it to adapt the learning rate for each parameter all by itself, individually. It'll slow down updates for parameters that have really big gradients and speed them up for ones with smaller gradients. It's a way to fine-tune the whole process for each parameter. So that leads to the big question, right? We have these different, powerful approaches. Which one should you actually use? Well, for most deep learning tasks today, there's a pretty clear favorite. That's become the go-to, the default choice for almost everyone. And that's ADAM, which stands for Adaptive Moment Estimation. Its power comes from this simple but absolutely brilliant combination. It just takes the best parts of both momentum and RMSProp and smashes them together. It keeps an exponentially weighted average of past gradients, that's the momentum part, and it keeps an average of the past squared gradients, that's the RMSProp part. So by combining these two amazing ideas, ADAM really does get the best of both worlds. You get the awesome acceleration of momentum, and you get the smart, adaptive learning rates of RMSProp. This whole combo makes it incredibly robust, and that's exactly why ADAM is the default optimizer you should probably start with. And look, the proof is in the performance. For instance, on a common dataset, a model using standard gradient descent might get to, say, 86% accuracy after 100 epochs. But by just switching the optimizer to ADAM and changing nothing else, that same model could hit 90% accuracy. That's a huge improvement that came from just one simple change. Okay, now for the final and I think most empowering question. What if the standard optimizers just aren't cutting it? What if you read a cool new research paper and you want to try out some new idea, like maybe adding a bit of noise to the gradients? Can you actually build your own? With a library like TensorFlow, the answer is a huge yes. And the whole process is surprisingly straightforward. It really just boils down to these three simple steps. This is where the real magic happens. So instead of using that single minimize function you're probably used to, you just break it apart. First, you ask TensorFlow to compute gradients. That gives you a list of all the raw gradients. Then, and this is the fun part, you can do whatever you want to them. Add noise, clip them, you name it. And finally, you just tell TensorFlow to apply gradients, and it'll update your model's weights with your modified values. This simple two-function process just opens up a whole world of possibilities for experimenting and for research. The really big takeaway here is the power you now have to innovate. You're not just a user of optimizers anymore. You can actually be a creator. So, if you found this explainer helpful for, demystifying adaptive optimizers, please show your support. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives where we break down complex topics into clear, understandable pieces. Thanks so much for watching.